What up? What up? What up? What up? I'm actually gonna turn down my game audio here. Alright. Some Sonic going. Yeah, man. I was playing it earlier today, just kind of getting my bearings in order with the game, but here we go. Playing some Sonic 1. I figured I'd be running through some Sonic games this week since we got the release of the movie coming out soon. Got my tickets for Saturday, so should be good. Let's run through some Sonic 1, see how far I can go in about an hour or so. I was never the best at Sonic. I was always better at Mario, but I remember I used to have a friend that lived down the street, and she would come over, and we would play Sonic on my Genesis, and we would play the first level over and over again, trying to get as many rings as possible. That was kind of our metagaming, right? We didn't play the game all the way through, but we'd see how many coins we could get. There we go. I prefer the bonus levels on part 2. For sure. Let's see if I can get the Chaos Emerald here. Ooh, 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 ooh. There we go. There we go. Got it. I'm really excited for the movie. I read some good reviews today on it. They're saying that it's a good movie. It's not the worst thing that's ever happened. And it's, you know, they have fun with themselves. They're definitely self-deprecating a little bit in the movie, so I'm excited for that. I think they playing the jokes. They know how ridiculous its own world is. So that's what I've read, so looks good. I always thought the premise was funny, right? So, they were paid off to give it good reviews. No, it was not. I always thought it was interesting that the enemies are just like robot shells, and you're rescuing animals that are inside of the robots. I guess is that what I'm supposed to get? That every time you kill a robot, you release the animal that's inside of it. Like, those had bunnies in it? So I guess that's what, one of the Sega guys that I follow, one of the big Sega guys that I follow, he was invited to the premiere, and, yeah, the drugs were definitely better in the 90s, for sure. He was invited to go see an early screening of the movie, and they, I guess the best way to put it is, he said that the movie's good. He said that everyone that's a Sega fan, should definitely go see the movie. Not because it might be a good movie or whatever, but because for the first time, Sega listened and pressured the studio to go back and like say, hey, you know, this isn't what we want, this isn't the vision, and to pull it back and not release it in the state that it was says a lot. Looks like they went over budget by a lot to kind of fix it and kind of give it the love that the fan community wanted. Now, why they chose to go with that original look and vision originally is beyond me. I don't know. I would love to hear some, you know, after the movie is out, and maybe directors or something, you know, some sort of talk about like, well, this is what we were given, greenlit or whatever, or we were told not to. I don't know. I would like to hear some of the backstory to the original look of that Sonic, and the fact that they went back and pushed it to the February. Oh, that wasn't the right way. Oops. So there are some spoilers that I'm not going to talk about, but now that I know of some of the things that happen and some of the appearances in the movie, I am judging that they changed the look of the movie the way it is now. I want the original cut just to see what the original versions of these specific characters look like. Instead of the Snyder cut, what are we getting? What's the hashtag there? We're getting Snyder cut Sonic for me. Is it super desaturated? Shaky cam. Blur time. Ooh, wrong way. Let's go this way. Yeah, Sonic 1 is always interesting because there's no spin dash in this one, so you can't just stop and hit down and speed up. Give me one coin. Ah, there he goes. Hopefully there's no delay or lag. I was having some lag issues earlier. We got those fixed. So hopefully the sound and the mic and me commenting match up to what is happening on the screen. You know, there are speed runs of people that don't get any coins or any rings. That's weird. Trying to beat the game without having any rings. So like this one, you kill some of the monsters, some of the robots, and they turn into seals? Or seals pop out of them? But I always find it hilarious, I think right down here, you save a few of them, and they immediately turn in, and then they jump into the lava. I always thought that was funny. Like, wait a minute. Are they gonna kill themselves now? What's the... Apparently these seals can just swim in lava. Alright, let's see if I can get under the Chaos Emerald here. Ooh, yeah. Oh boy. No, no, no! Nope. Ah. I chip away. Go. Got it. All right, 2. And another continue. I always like the music of Marble Zone. Is anyone else a fan of just video game music in general? I mean, I know it's a genre for us geeks, but not everyone here that watches the channel tends to be a big video game buff. You know, in the sense of like, oh, the music is something that you would jam out to. Like, would you listen to Sonic music in the car? Like, just like driving and put Sonic music on? Because I won't lie, I do it all the time. I have a whole playlist of just video game music. And I'm not talking about like remakes or I'm not talking about like covers. I'm talking about like actual these versions. Like take these versions and put them on a CD or listen to them with your iPod. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Almost jumped out into the middle of nowhere. Look at this. Look at this squirrel. Just jumps right into the lava. What? Oh my god. The piece of that. This sucks. Alright. I had so many coins. I'm all silent. Oh. Sorry, I'm all in the zone playing Sonic. I ain't got no commentary. This is why I need someone else on stream. Someone can talk to me, and I can have a conversation. I gotta get Pedro on here. I'll get that fixed soon. I know, right? Who wants to be social? I just want to sit here and play games silently. But yet, I'm also streaming, so it's putting it on social media. It's kind of like it's a double-edged sword, right? Oh, come on, move, 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 move. There you go. Turn around so I can kill you. There you go. Swim! Come on. Alright, let's go for another Chaos Emerald here. I barely made it. You have to have 50 coins to get that ring to appear at the end, so... Gotta find it first, huh? So not that way, that's the goal. Ah, there's an arrow pointing this way. No, no! Ah! Totally fell there. I was supposed to have 4 by now. At least 4 Chaos Emeralds at this point. Oh well. I'm getting old. And for anyone who wants to know, I'm playing with the Retrobit wireless Saturn controller, actually. It's pretty neat. Oh, no. Oh. All right, fair enough. Why even put that there? It's weird. Sonic was so young here. He had no idea how big he'd be. Chubby round body Sonic. There you are. Nope. Ooh, almost got squished there. Ooh. Alright, I got a coin back after all that. Nope, don't go in there yet. Get squished. Oh. Ah, out of nowhere. Oh. Oh, first death. How far back does this start? Oh no, that's right. I hit that, hit the check mark. Yeah, I know, right? Pay respects. Poor Sonic. Ah. That's alright. I could go back and get that. Never mind. Nope. Nope. Move ahead. Ah. Go, baby seal, go. Where are you going? You're in the lava again. Oh man, it's been a long day today. I was gonna stream at 9, but like I said, I ran into some technical difficulties, and so. Oh! That's what happens when I try to talk. Let's try that again. Still lost the shield because I was impatient. Jump. There we go. And wait. And wait. And wait. Apparently, whatever that seal is made of, baby seal is made of, it's stronger than Sonic. Yeah, don't jump down there. There we go. And that. You know, for Sonic being fast, this level, you can't go very fast in this level. You just get killed. Spikes and lava and whatnot. So kind of an interesting level to put as the second level in your new... Why did I do that? Okay, I get it. Let's try this again. There we go. Alright, checkpoint. So if I die, I die there. Come on. Yeah, right. Other games do better at making Sonic feel fast. Sonic 1 was, at least not this one. Sonic 2's better at it. So Sonic 2 is a superior Sonic game, for sure. But I wanted to start with the first one, alright? And then I definitely want to do some weird ones. I'm probably going to have a day where I do some weird games this week. There's a lot of weird Sonic games out there. Including some games that you probably never even knew had Sonic in them. Like, there's a lot of there's Sonic the Hedgehog for a Sega Master System that most people didn't play because the Sega Master System wasn't big here in the U.S. Also, a couple of the Game Gear ports; those are always fun to play. It's interesting to see how they could get Sonic to work on a 8-bit system. What else? There's a couple of hacks. There's a couple of Nintendo Famicom hacks. You know, Sonic the Hedgehog for regular Nintendo that, of course, wasn't legit, but someone else made it, and those aren't too terrible for what they are. Ooh. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot about these guys. Oh my god. Yeah, this level is completely a blur to me. I don't remember it at all. I remember the music. Oh, boy. Okay, let's get to a checkpoint. And let's speed up. God, they really don't let you go fast. I think Dr. Robotnik was definitely more evil in the first one. And then in the second games, he was like, oh, let's give him room to run. Putting... Oh. Let me up there. There we go. And you can't spin dash, so you can't hit him straight on, and you can't, so... It's interesting. Ugh. Come on. Go faster, thank you. I guess this would be kind of like the Casino Zone on part 2. The Casino Zone was always my favorite. Casino Nights. Oh. Hate to see it. Need some rings. Oh man, I beat it with 0 rings. That sucks. But I beat it. Spring Yard Zone. So I'm guessing it's the springs that are. Oh, I missed that. So yeah, the physics are better on part 2. You can definitely speed up. Kind of like really catapult yourself. Oh, gotta move. Rolls, are you gonna see the Sonic movie this coming week or sometime soon? Or are you gonna wait for Blu-ray or digital or whatever? For Hits HBO. It's fair. I'm excited to see it a lot. I really wanted to hate on this movie, but the new look and I've seen a lot of the TV spots make it look fun. And I kind of want a fun movie right now. I'm going to go see Birds of Prey sometime soon as well. That's getting good reviews, and I'm a big DC guy, so... I don't know. There was a few... I mean, have you seen the trailer for... you see the trailer that got put up for... what is it called? Oh, what is it called? The Jesus Rolls. It's the Big Lebowski spin-off movie with John Turturro. I can never say his last name. Turturro. I think that movie'd been out for a while. At least it was shopped. I think I've seen leaks of it or something online before, but now it's being put out on I don't know. I don't know what the history of that movie is, but it looks pretty hilarious, and he's definitely a character that can get a spin-off. He's such a weird character in that movie. I don't know. Yeah. I love that. That's like your opinion, man. I use that GIF quite often. Pretty much. Nope. Look at these. These guys are scary. They just kind of like show up behind you. I don't remember those guys at all. Anytime I get into an argument or whatever, and I'm just like, you know, That's like your opinion, man. I didn't have 50 coins. And that one. Alright. We're out of there. Pick some coins up. Oh. Nope, nope, nope. I've never been like a premium cable watch movies person. Like I'll buy the DVD or rent it, but I've never waited for a movie to come on like HBO. Is that a thing still? Do people wait for movies till they hit like premium cable? All art deserves some sort of monetary compensation, and all of it, even terrible art. And I'm of the nature that if I'm gonna watch something and enjoy it, I gotta pay somebody. Now, mind you, I don't pay for HBO. I get it for free, but I've never sat down and watched a movie on HBO. Maybe back in the day I did, but HBO's for like their own shows now, their own content. I don't watch any movies on HBO, mainly because I don't know. I don't know if HBO edits their movies or whatever. I don't think they do, but Biodome. You know, I had one of my exes back in the day loved Biodome, and so I have a love for it too because she had a love for it, and my current wife also likes it too. It's definitely one of those movies. You know, it's funny that you mentioned Biodome. That's a perfect example of a conversation I've had with even Tim, who's a member of the channel, often, where I say that we don't get mediocre movies anymore. They either have to be huge blockbusters and make the studio tons of money, or they're considered failures. And a movie like Biodome just doesn't get made anymore. Movies like that, like Biodome now, are like love projects of like creators that have tons of other financial success. Like a good example would be like Seth Rogen has made tons of money for studios everywhere, so he was allowed to make Sausage Party, you know. Don't get me wrong, I agree the movie. I don't know about ran out of ideas. I don't know if Hollywood was never the one making the movies, though, right? Like we keep saying Hollywood, but I think Hollywood ran out of people that were Hollywood, and they started going to other places, right? So they started shopping comic book creators and, you know, finding other places to get content from. And sadly, when all you do is get comic book people, you're gonna get comic book stories all the time. So I don't think they ran out of ideas. I just think that old Hollywood is not around anymore, and new Hollywood is different content creators. I'm not knocking Sausage Party. I think it's a freaking hilarious movie. It's a movie that financially bombed, and honestly, if the studio knew how much that movie was going to make when it came out, they would have never backed it, right? What I'm saying is, it's one of those. It's a project that, you know, Seth Rogen wanted to do because he was probably high and had enough clout with the studio that they greenlit that movie. But it's not a thing where like studios will go, like studios won't go, hey, let's make a stoner flick with Pauly Shore. Obviously, Pauly Shore doesn't make any money nowadays. Oh wow, there's nothing down there. But I guess I'm saying, I'm trying to think of like there is other examples to this, like just movies in general that are fluff, that are. They're C movies. They're movies that break even. They don't make a ton of money, and they'll become like cult classics after the fact. You know, they're not... Not all movies can be The Godfather, correct, but I think studios expect that now. All movies want... Oh my god. All movies want tons of movies. Yeah, look at that, game over. I have tons of continues, though. Galaxy Quest. Yeah, man, that was a good movie. That was a movie that came out at a weird time. I remember it came out. It was like 2000... No. 90... No. Yeah, 2000. It came out on Christmas. I remember that, because... that was the excuse that this girl I was dating at the time gave her parents to come and see me for Christmas, because Christmas is my birthday, and she told her dad that she was going to go see Galaxy Quest. But no, that's a great movie. I love that movie. It's just again, you're right. No one's going to give any money to make that movie now. I mean, unless you're someone that's already made the studio tons of money prior, right? Yeah. I mean, most of Kevin Smith movies are like that, right? Like, he made a lot of money with certain movies, but not really financial gain. Like, Kevin Smith movies are like break even. He had fun making them. They become cult classics on video. Oh, come on. Oh, stop it. Look at that. I got no rings. Yeah, Galaxy Quest is a great movie. I think it's probably one of the better Star Trek movies, actually. I died because I didn't land on those coins first. This is usually the level where I get annoyed with, because I can't move fast. And I don't want to play Sonic 2 until another stream. But man, Sonic 1 is a slog sometimes. It's just... you want to move faster than you can. He doesn't have a spin dash, and you know, honestly, are we getting a third one? I mean, do we count? Are we talking about like generations as well, like the new generation cast? We've had the original with Captain Kirk and Spock and all that, and with and Leonard Nimoy and Shatner, and then we've had, I guess, the Picard movies, but those are spin-offs from the Next Generation. And but do we count the rest of them? Do we count? I mean, I guess the new one is the third one, right? Is the Chris Pine. And honestly, I think they're a great cast. I think Hollywood wanted to go too epic movie with them. But I enjoy them. They're not terrible movies. Have you seen? Are you a Trekkie? Do you watch any of the new shows like Discovery? I know old Trek fans hate Discovery. Either you hate it or you like it, and most of them tend to hate it because it changes things continuity-wise for them, and so Trek is already kind of a mishmash of continuity errors. So, I watched the first episode of Picard recently, and that was fun. The wife liked it, but the wife hasn't seen any... Ooh, my God, I stood on the edge. My God. This is just long. Act 3, come on. I'm gonna pass this level. Okay, so you haven't watched any of them. Okay, so yeah, man. Like, so what? So do you like the new movies, or do you think that they're too J.J. Abramsy? I mean, because if you never watched any of the other, if you didn't watch the shows, then it's hard to say, hey. And the movies are their own thing. Even the old William Shatner movies are different from the show. The show was more kind of toned down, and then the movies were supposed to be kind of this epic grand adventure. Oh, okay. I'm gonna beat this level. I think directors get a bad rap like that too, but then again, I think that's my shtick on the show, right? Like, I like everything. J.J. Abrams has his place, you know. I don't think anyone gave Spielberg as much shit as other directors, but Spielberg movies are all the same too. Like, I feel Spielberg movies have that Spielberg look, the Spielberg feel, and I don't feel like that many people were giving Spielberg that much shit back in the day. Now everyone's like, oh, this director's got a trope, so he's gonna constantly play. Like, I get Michael Bay, right? Michael Bay blowing stuff up, and I get J.J. Abrams has his lens flare, but isn't that like a director's style? Like Sam Raimi he always does that, like, that scene where the camera follows everyone around kind of thing. He did it in Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock's hands, and he does it in Evil Dead, and he does it in Army of Darkness. He does it in all the movies. That's kind of his shtick. That's one of his things that he does. So I'm okay with directors having a shtick, and I don't know. I'm rambling, but I don't always see it as a negative. People get tired of it, I guess, and so immediately it becomes something that they hate, when honestly these directors became popular for a reason, right? That must have been something people wanted at one point. Oh my god. Oh shit. Okay, need at least one ring. It's a mess. They're good popcorn movies, you know what you're getting into. Shit blown up. Right, but are we expecting more from our movies? Like, the best way to put it, are we not entertained? Like, is that not what we want? Do we not want entertainment? Are we wanting everything highbrow? Does every sci-fi movie need to have some deeper existential meaning? Like, I remember when The Matrix came out and everyone was analyzing it like it was the deepest thing they'd ever seen. And I mean, I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it for, like, the fact that, oh look, hey, it's a kung fu movie and with sci-fi in it. And yet everyone was like, oh, what does it mean? Is he a metaphor? Is he Jesus? What is it? And then I think the Wachowskis, all that went to their heads, and then they're like, yeah, everything's got a deeper meaning. And then the second and third movie came out, and they're like, yeah, look, it's deeper. And honestly, when we got all that, I don't know if you're alone. I like the Matrix movies for what they are, but like that's kind of my whole point of this argument here is, the Matrix is fun. They're just fun movies, right? Like they're just fun on their own. But it was I despise the culture it created after the fact, right? Like when the Matrix movies came out, then all of a sudden everyone was like an expert in sci-fi movies, and everyone was an expert in like action, and everyone knew everything now for some reason. Everyone was like, oh, well, so this director here and that, and that they were supposed to be this, and that was a metaphor for this. And, everyone was trying to explain the movies, and they like, everyone knew the right answer. And I was like, really? No one knows the right answer. I don't think the Wachowskis knew the right answer to this movie. It's a load of crap, and they were really fun, pretty movies. That's all they were. You want to have two albinos with dreadlocks in white leather trench coats? Fine, let's do that. You want to blow up a bunch of cars on a freeway with motorcycles chasing each other? That's cool. Let's do that. You want to have an old Southern gentleman in a white suit sit behind a chair with a bunch of monitors and he's like the architect? That's fine. Cool. Whatever. But don't tell me that it has a deeper meaning, because it was all broken. It was terribly written, and I'm okay with that. That's all it should be. It should just be a fun movie. I mean, they were a product of their making, right? It's the late 90s, early aughts. I don't know. Oh, shit. Come on, give me one. Come on, come on, come on. I can't reach you. What happened there? I, like, went through the block. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. I saw a beautiful mind. Now I can call myself a master of mathematics. That's exactly it, man. You get it. I saw Interstellar. Now I'm an expert on black holes. Right. You get it. That's exactly it. I watched the movie, so now I'm an expert at this. And every other movie, like Inception. When Inception came out, boy, everyone was an expert at like that subject, and everyone knew the deeper meaning, and everyone could tell you how things were. And I was like, man, come on. I don't know. It happens all the time. It happens all the time with movies. People just gotta turn their brains off, which is why I get so angry at these review sites. Like, again, I get it. If people don't like the DCU movies, that's fine. Like, I get it. But when the concept of a Batman versus Superman movie was announced, I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be a clusterfuck, because there's no way in hell you're gonna fit this movie and make it any good. But I'm gonna enjoy it. And then it came out, and I was like, you know what, man, that was a mess, but there's a lot of fun stuff there. And no, everyone just got hung up about every little detail about the movie and just hated it. And I was like, you can't tell me that you didn't find any of that fun. You didn't find the fact that there was a Batman and a Superman fighting each other on film fun in some way? Took a day to see Inception. The only thing I got out of it was a broken tooth. Oh, man. The best part about a movie like Inception was the memes. Like, the amount of memes and the damn Inception sound after the fact that came out was hilarious. Broken tooth, that sucks. Ugh. All right. I don't know how to get out of here without... I'm just not overcritical about my movies anymore. I'm already spending... I already feel like a sucker for spending $15, per ticket, or $20 per ticket for a movie, when that's the price of the DVD, so I can keep it later. But then I take my wife, and it's $40 for tickets and another $20 in popcorn and a drink, so I'm $60 in the hole. Plus, I've already paid a babysitter another $40, so I'm $100 in for the night. That doesn't include dinner, and $100 not including dinner. And then I go and see a movie that obviously I'm excited for in any way, shape, or form or capacity, and I'm just gonna hate on it the entire time. So I paid to hate on something. Like, I'm not saying that I should like all movies. I'm just saying, like, Right. Exactly. So what I'm saying is, people go into movies too cynical now. Like, they go in wanting to hate a movie, or with this idea that they're going to be the next Siskel and Ebert, and they're going to break it down in some way and give some deeper meaning to every person they tell. And then after they watch it, whether they liked it or hate it, they already had this idea of what they were already going to talk about. They just went into the movie to vindicate their hate or to not admit to themselves that they might have enjoyed a piece of the movie. So why would I pay that amount of money to hate on something? When I go into a movie after spending that amount of money, I do this. Click, and I put on a smile, and I just watch this piece of art and enjoy it, whether it was bad or good. There's tons of movies. I don't consider movies bad. I consider them forgettable. If it's a bad movie, I'm just going to forget about it. And then, a couple years down the road, I'll run into the movie somewhere and be like, oh yeah, I saw that movie at the theater. God, that was weird. And I move on. But I don't verbally hate it. I just think it's forgettable. Right, they're just a way to forget about life for a little bit. And so my entire point of that this like small rant here is why am I going to spend that amount of money, pay the babysitter, pay dinner, go out with, my lady and go see a movie only to like walk in wanting to hate it. Now, I can understand you having high expectations about a movie and then going in and then like being completely like not met and then you feel disappointed. That's happened before, but I don't hate the movie. I just think, wow, that was a bad movie. And then I move on. Like I don't go out of my way to just like completely obliterate and hate it. There's tons of Marvel movies that I've hated. I've walked out of the movie and been like, you know what? That was not very good. Captain Marvel. I was so excited to see, Captain Marvel and having a female superhero in the Marvel universe kind of get their first solo movie. And at the end of the day, that movie just like, it's forgettable. I haven't watched it again since. Nothing in the original movie when I watched it made me go, man, I want to see that again. There was a couple scenes where, it's like she powered up by the end and it was like, oh, that's pretty cool looking, but that's it. And you can tell that Marvel really had no end game with her because when Endgame came out or Infinity Wars came out, she wasn't there. Like they had to, you can tell that she was so shoehorned there. And here we had this character that was supposed to be like the most powerful character in the in the MCU, and she didn't do anything. So I don't know, man. It happens all the time, but what I hated about the movie. Whew. My controller's not working. I can pause and unpause, but I can't move. Huh. Let me see here. I guess I'll try to reset it real quick. But yeah, man, I could rant about movies all the time. I do it all the time with friends. So yeah, I'm excited for the Sonic movie because it's about a subject that's always hated on anyway, right? Like, have we ever had a really good video game movie? We've had a few decent ones, but nothing so amazing that you feel like they're considered stellar. What, Tomb Raiders? Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm old enough to remember that too. As a matter of fact, I worked at the movie theater for the longest time, and movies previews were 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the most. And just recently have we been going to the movies, and the previews are seriously 40 minutes long. We walked in for a 1:00 showing, and the movie didn't start. Like, we didn't start seeing the early credits of the movie, like the intro for like 1:35. I worked at AMC too. I moved my way all the way up to a manager at AMC in high school. I had graduated high school. I worked there for 3 years. That'll tell you. I worked projectionist. I was box office. I was a porter. I mean, I worked at AMC when we wore the little black vests with the gold trim. So if that tells you anything. I don't know how old you are when you worked there, but yeah, the black vest and the gold trim was our uniform. I can still remember the training videos for that. But yeah, that's why I love movies the way I do, because I feel like they're always fun. I was always excited. It didn't matter what movie came out. We would go to employee screenings and we'd enjoy it with friends. And even if there were bad movies, we'd riff on them in like a playful way. I was 16, so it would have been 2000. Yeah, okay. So your uniforms were the red polo style ones, right? Or were they the captain bar ones, right? Were those the ones when they had the little bars up top, the stripes, the green, yellow, white, or whatever they had? You had the bar. Supervisors had bars up here. That was the second style. We went from the black vests to the bars. Yeah, so you were the third. So those bars didn't last very long. There was a moment where they switched over from the little monkey vests, the little old style porter black vests with the gold trim. They went to like these shirts where they had AMC up top, and supervisors had stripes. You'd put the stripes in up here, and they were like a little piece of fabric that would go through a loop. And so basically they were like a captain in a way, right? So like supervisors would have these stripes up here on your shoulder. And yeah. I'm trying to think what else. But yeah, then the next ones became the red polo style shirts. And they had the hats. And they were a lot more sportier. When I say sporty, I just mean they were red polo shirts. Bringing Down the House. That's with Steve Martin and no. Is that Steve Martin and Queen Latifah? Yeah. I remember that. Yep. Queen Latifah and Steve Martin. That's right. Yeah, I remember that movie. I think I worked there in 2003. No, well, I started in 98. 99. I was there for 90. I started working at the movie theater when Titanic came out in the theaters. So that November when that movie came out, I was at the theater. We opened up our new theater, and I was the first wave of employees. Good times. I moved myself up to projectionist. And what else? I'm going to flip over to this real quick. I moved myself up to projectionist, and then I remember splicing movies. I don't know if you ever got to do projection, but that was fun too. I did projectionist for a little bit. I did box office. That was fun. Yeah, man, I got cross trained as that because they moved me up to manager, so they needed me to learn to do all this stuff. So digital wasn't around. So did you ever get to help them kind of at least move stuff around, like move platters, or did you go up there and see the movies all came in like they came in the rolls, the small rolls and the canisters, and then you take that and like piece them together with tape to make them into big platters, and then you'd have to move these giant platters around with the movies from theater to theater, or projection up in the projectionist area. It was just one big open floor, so you'd move them around, kind of thing, changing bulbs and stuff. Anywho, that was fun. Projectionist was fun. Oh man, yeah, man, that sucks. It's a completely different ball game now. I went up to a projectionist. I still have friends that work, and I went up there right as everything's transitioned to digital. And now the movies come in a big hard drive. They just plug them in, and then they're time coded. They won't start the movie until a certain amount of like a certain time, and the movie itself, like the hard drive has a limit to how many times it can be watched. That way the studios know. So it's all DRM'd even at the movie theater. So that tells you how things have changed now. Back then, we'd get the movie, and if it was a movie for something we really wanted to see, we'd piece it together. I was I worked at the movie theater. If that tells you anything, I worked at the movie theater when Phantom Menace came out, and we pieced that movie together and watched it against like we it was a super hush project because we weren't allowed to open up the canisters or whatnot until a certain amount of time, certain date, certain time. There were no employee screenings, even though we all watched it the day before. It was yeah, good times. And of course, the hype was so big that no one hated that movie when it came out until they hated it, right? Everyone was so hyped for that movie. We didn't even know what we just watched. We're like, oh my God, is this a Star Wars movie? Like, what's going on here? So, yeah, I saw, what else? Godzilla. That was a one that came out right as I was graduating. Geez. The Matthew Broderick one. Ugh, that was, you want to talk about a bad movie? That's a bad movie. I remember it, and I saw it at the movie theater like 3-4 times just because it was so terrible. If that tells you anything, bad movies I would go see again and again to kind of go, are we seeing this? Are we seeing this movie? Godzilla. You know what's a guilty pleasure about that movie? The soundtrack. The soundtrack is a guilty pleasure about that movie. It's got that Puff Daddy and Jimmy Page song on it. I'm like, what is this? This is so weird. I remember we got copies of that soundtrack as promos at the movie theater, so I had one in my car. Yeah. Yeah, still called Puffy. Yeah, Puff Daddy. That's right. He wasn't P Diddy. He wasn't whatever he calls himself now. Yeah, man. Good times. Well, yeah, I'll be back on probably tomorrow night again. I'm gonna go through some Sonic 2, or maybe you know what? I might do something else. I might do maybe some Sonic Spin Dash. I don't know yet. I haven't decided on what I'm gonna do. Let me see. Does this working yet? No. I don't know what happened here. Let's see. I don't know what other Sonic games could I run here. By the way, if you can't see my screen right now anymore, but let me see if I can show. So I'm using what's called a Mister. It's a FPGA based console. It's not an emulator. It's very cool little system. Let's see, Master System. I mean, if I do that, we could do. No. What else can we do here? Oh, right. I gotta go to a different core. We'll go to that. Master System. Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog on Sega Master System. Yeah, it's like my... That's Sega on the Sega Master System, if you're not aware of what that looked like. So I'll probably maybe do some of that tomorrow. 91. All right, guys, I'm ending the stream. Have a good one. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.